Welcome to the NEMTAC video series, where we spotlight leadership and innovation across the non-emergency medical transportation industry by way of accreditation. Today, I'm joined by Jeremy from M7, a provider that became NEMTAC accredited and continues to set the high bar for service. Jeremy, thanks for being here. And to kick things off, can you give us a quick intro to M7, who you are, and what services you all provide?
Thanks for having me, Joel. Of course, my name is Jeremy Scalzi. I'm Director of Business Development for a company called M7. We're a family-run business, I think like many in the industry. So my dad started this company back in 1987 with 15 taxis. We've since transitioned into largely NEMT, being the largest provider in the state with 170 drivers on-demand services with a lot of programs that are geared towards solving transportation gaps for people with disabilities. We lobbied the Connecticut legislature for 12 years to fight for disability rights. So we've always been involved in bridging those gaps and solving those issues in largely rural and suburban communities, metropolitan as well.
What was the reason and decision why you decided to pursue accreditation? And let's shift into that journey for M7.
I think that we had a commitment to doing things the right way for a very long time. We were the first to put cameras in our vehicles in the state to make sure that we were always giving back towards, our service, making sure that we're continually improving. So when we saw NEMTAC first created, we thought that's fantastic. We've been preaching to our clients that we do things the right way. Why not prove it and really show that, through accreditation, all of our processes here have been vetted to show that we hold the gold standard in the industry. So that's always been a very important thing. And learning as well, making sure that we learn what we're not doing that could be the gold standard was also very, very important to us. It's a constant re-education process every day in transportation, as I'm sure many people are familiar with.
What's it been like for you since you've been accredited, whether it's operational, reputational, your partners out there? What has that been like for you now that you have that designation?
It's different, both operationally and reputationally. I mean, for operationally, I think being able to know that we hold the NEMTAC accreditation throughout all facets of our business just allows us to compose ourselves. I think the way that we would think a NEMTAC accredited company should compose themselves, which is confident, knowledgeable, and ready to always make changes where they need to be made. So the like I said, and NEMTAC isn't necessarily only accreditation, it's education as well. So we're constantly staying engaged to make sure that we have the latest on the new educational materials, things like that. Reputationally, I'll say it's very easy to converse with clients. They feel comfortable with us knowing that we have the accreditation because they know that it's not just us saying we do things. It's a trustworthy industry organization saying we've certified this company to be the highest standards in the industry.
Beyond just maybe your relationships with your direct contracts. So maybe the regulators, the passengers themselves, the brokers. How has this changed your relationship with them, or how has this framed some of your conversation with those?
Well, I think it's definitely set the stage to build a solid foundation for future conversations. I've heard of programs happening throughout the country for value-based incentives for providers to prove that they're trustworthy. Fraud, waste, and abuse is certainly a part of the NEMT industry, as much as we don't like to say it out loud. It definitely is, and building a solid core of trustworthy providers who to hold the higher standards of the industry. I think that's how we start to cut down on that stuff. So being able to build a foundation with accredited companies and hold those conversations with regulators, payers, and everyone in that realm will be very beneficial towards cost savings to the government, to health plans, and to delivering better service to our patients. It's worth it. I would say if you are a transportation provider in the NEMT space, it is 100% worth it to go through the accreditation process. It's not just for the seal of approval from NEMTAC, right? That's a great thing to leverage in terms of negotiation and even business development. But operationally, it's how you grow internally as well. It's how you get your staff members aligned with your standards and making sure that they are implementing them. If you're a business owner and you're thinking of doing it alone, I highly suggest involving every aspect of your team in this process because it really unifies everyone on your team, on your mission, and on your dedication towards raising the standards of your organization. So 100%, if you haven't been accredited yet and you're in the NEMT space, get right on it. It's a very good thing to do.
I appreciate that. So what's next for M7? Any exciting goals, initiatives? What are you and your team planning coming up in the near future?
Well, we're continually building in bridging the gap for accessible transportation. That's really where our focuses are right now. Um, really focusing on our value add as a traditional provider, focusing more on door-to-door and door-through-door services, wheelchair accessible services, and expanding the independence that persons with disabilities deserve in their lives has always been a core mission to us. So, in terms of next, I guess, next on the horizon, I would say it's really just building on the foundations that we've set with this accreditation to continually improve our service and grow services in the areas that people really need them.
Great. Jeremy, thanks again for sharing the M7 story. Your commitment to quality and raising the bar in the NEMT is exactly what the industry needs more of. For those watching, stay tuned for more conversations with leaders who are shaping the future of NEMT.